Now, we often don't see many female authors writing about comic books. And today I'm going to be discussing that with an author herself who has written her first ever comic book, and she's a female. I'm quite excited about this interview because I love comic books. I love superheroes. I love Marvel. So she'll be telling us a little bit about her new book that she's written, and she's joining us here at Cape Town Daily. Lauren, Bianca, welcome. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. Thank you so much, Edna, and thank you, Cape Town, for having me. I really appreciate it.
Look, Lauren, you study psychology and now you are a book author, right? You are an administrator at this moment. Um, where's the link between the two? Because I'm struggling to think. Okay, you study psychology and at the same time you've decided to write a book, a comic book. Tell us about the link.
Okay, well, growing up, I loved fairy tales. I loved fiction. I loved getting to know nature, superhero stuff. That was like my stuff, even in acting. But also, I like to find out about people, how they act. To make people's life better, to make people feel comfortable. That's how I like to do it. So that's how psychology kind of ties up. Also, because I do cosplay for two Marvel characters, which is Black Widow and Wanda. That's how comic ended up being an idea, where I wrote this book. Yeah.
Now, this comic book is not your average, comic book. How long did it take you to write the book? And also, what was the process like?
Oh, it took me about 1 month to write the story. But it took me about a couple of months to find a publisher because it's very hard to find a publisher. Normally they deal with big bulks, but luckily I came across Bevan Group, which is in Cape Town. They said, you know what, you self-publish it, we'll print it for you guys. That's how the book came to play. It was published in December, and everything set off from there, right to the comic. Like you said, it's not your average comic book. It's actually not drawings, it's pictures of actual people that take on a character. So it's my group of friends that are in this book.
Wow. Look, your main character, which is Chasey Evans, right? Um, Tell us a little bit about the book. Like, what is it really about? I know you mentioned it's the characters are like focused on your friends, but what is it actually about? What's the story there?
It's about a girl who drinks the wrong medication and she becomes a superhero and then realizes that there's a deeper, darker force that they have to fight. So together with her group of friends, they, defeat this dark force, and it also shows unity, which I wanted to bring out in the book.
Now,
Yeah.
Lauren, a lot of the times we hear a lot about, comic books being written by, male authors.
Yes.
Um, I'm sure there are maybe a few females. Perhaps do you know of any maybe that have inspired you, and any other comic book author that has inspired you to write this book or inspires
It's
you?
actually, I don't really name a lot because I'll be very honest, me and names just don't stick in my head, but I do know faces. So it's along the lines how they write their stories. But my most biggest inspiration is Marvel itself. I love Marvel. Hopefully, one day I can become part of that cast in acting. Cross fingers, hope they see and hear. But but that is my biggest inspiration from there. All their stories and their characters.
Are you hoping one day to turn this comic book into a film?
Hopefully one day I would love to do that because it not only shows that the fine line between imagination and reality is now diffused, but it also shows that you know what, if you put your mind to something, you'll eventually get there.
Lauren, tell us a little bit about the event that's coming up this weekend.
Oh, yes. So on the 6th of May, which is this Saturday, we have a comic book launch, which is for the Shadower. We have it at Project Mayhem, which is in Hillcrest in Durban. They are one of the biggest comic book stores in Durban that I know. So they contact me and be like, "No, let's have your launch here." So it's happening today at 9:30. I mean, on Saturday, from 9:30 to 3 p.m. And tickets, there's no tickets. Everyone's free to come.
It's a
There's no
free
cost
event.
involved. Yes, it's free
And,
day. It's free
and
comic
when
book
does
day.
and when does Cape Town get a chance to get those books?
Oh, they actually, in the process of getting it on Take a Lot, but I'm trying to get my foot in the door with Cape Town where people want to buy. So I don't mind giving it to a bookstore. I've tried contacting them. I'm hoping to get a response back, but it would be nice to have the shadower chilling in Cape Town.
Now you mentioned you love superheroes, you love Marvel, and also you've basically written this comic book. Is there maybe a dream to maybe become go into the film industry one day?
Yes, there is. I'm hoping, like I said, fingers crossed. Like I'm hoping Kevin Feige comes across this somewhere, so he can see. Because I do, like I said, I do cosplay for Black Widow and Wanda. So it's already instilled in me, like that that I don't even know the word to describe it. There's not even a word to describe that excitement when you think about acting for me, especially in superhero movies. So hopefully one day.
Lauren, I've run out of time, but before I go, I am curious to know who's your favorite Marvel character or superhero? And then I'll tell you mine, because I love
Okay.
Marvel and I love comic books.
My biggest favorite is obviously Black Widow, which is Natasha Romanoff.
Yes.
That's why I cosplay her. But then I feel bad for not mentioning everyone else like Iron Man and Cap and everything. So I like when anyone asked me that question, I was like, I can't.
Okay, mine, I love all of them. All of them.
I know. You see,
Well, Lauren, look, thank you so much for speaking to us in regards to your book. And hopefully here in Cape Town, we can also get an opportunity, to read, to look at the book and read it, and also basically experience what you are experiencing with the book. Thank you once again for taking the time to speak to us about your book, and all the best.
thank you so much. I really appreciate sending love to you guys.
All right. Until then, bye.
Bye.